Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Unity Orlando. Our opening statement this morning is, in our unity of purpose, we are guided by divine wisdom and prospered by divine love. Let's all affirm that together. In our unity of purpose, we are guided by divine wisdom and prospered by divine love. All right, let's all close our eyes, take a nice deep breath in. Let's affirm that together in the silence. And so it is. And now if you'd like to stand and join us in singing, our joy song this morning is called Spirit Invitation.
Well, good morning on this beautiful first day of May. So welcome to all you who are here, and welcome to all of you who are watching from home. It's good to have each and every one of you with us. Well, do we have any visitors with us this morning? Oh, I forgot. Just in case you don't know, I'm Reverend Bob Marshall, and I'm your platform. I'm something. I'm your platform chairman this morning. Do we have any visitors? Since we don't, that announcement was relatively unnecessary. Here we go. Let's talk about a few of the things that are going on. Most of it's all continuing. The food drive continues. You can bring in non-perishable food items for our food drive either Sunday morning or Tuesday between 10 and 3. Or you can contact Curtis Coaxum for a pickup. He'll come pick up the food. Also, if you need food or if you know someone who does, give Curtis a call. His number is on our website. We are continuing this process. These days, there are always people who need food, and it's one of the ways that we can help the community. So let us know if you know anyone who needs help. Midweek prayer and meditation with Reverend Ronnie and Susan Francis It's on Facebook the first and third Wednesdays at 4:30. So since this is May 1st, that means this Wednesday, we're going to have that meditation period. Wednesday at 4:30 on Facebook. Then, once again online, Navigating A Course in Miracles with Rev Ronnie and Paul Kenney. Reverend Ronnie and her husband Paul teach this lesson by Zoom each Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. If you'd like to join in, you need to email Ronnie. You'll find the website on our website. You'll find the email on our website. Okay, you'll need to email Ronnie so she can send you a link so you can join in. Her email address is on the website. I see. Okay. The Unity Men's Group meets 4 p.m. every Wednesday at Starbucks. They make sure they can stay awake. They have coffee and talk. This is the Starbucks located at the corner of 436 and Hal Branch. All people of the male persuasion are invited. So please come and join. It's in Winter Park, 436 and Hal Branch. Discussions include spiritual, personal, family, general, and world issues. Sounds like they're covering everything. So all ages are welcome. Next week, boy, this year is flowing along, isn't it? Next week, we celebrate Mother's Day. And all the people in attendance, all the mothers in attendance will get a rose. We'll have roses for you. And all of you attending online will hold the rose up so you can look at it and you get a virtual rose. But in either case, we want our mothers to have a rose for Mother's Day. And May's a very big month. We not only have May the 4th be with you, Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day, but we also have the church anniversary, the anniversary of our founding. I'll go over a little bit of the history of the church, as I do every year. And, and this year, for the first time since before COVID, BC, before COVID, we will be having a potluck following the 11 a.m. service. If that's something you've been waiting to be part of, then we're having a potluck. If that's too many people for you, you're watching online or you're going home. But in either case, we're going to celebrate. So I hope you will celebrate the anniversary with us online or in person. It is Sunday, May 22nd. Thank you, Lanny, for keeping me on my toes. Well, today is obviously a very special day. Reverend Ronnie will be giving the lesson, and it's entitled Stubborn and Loyal. I'm actually looking forward to this. So, actually, I always look forward to it, but this one sounds particularly good. So, in either case, before I invite her up, though, we're going to turn it back over to Brian.
Thank you, Reverend Bob. And I thought stubborn and loyal are two ingredients in a recipe of something, so I figured I'd sing this song called Weathering the Storm. I dream of looking up into a bright, clear, sunny day. I dream of walking down a path that won't lead me astray. If I could fly right through the storms, through clouds that block my way, I think that I could feel the sun that warms up a cold day, and I could read some fresh air and realize that I am free, that I am free to learn, and I am free to grow with my wisdom. I have the power to know that I am one, since this has all begun, and I can do just what needs to be done. I dream of looking up into a bright, clear, sunny day. I dream of walking down a path that won't lead me astray. If I could fly right through the storms, through clouds that block my way, I think that I could feel the sun that warms up a cold day, and I could breathe some fresh air and realize that I am free, that I am free to learn, and I am free to grow with my wisdom. I have the power to know that I am one, since this has all begun, and I can do just what needs to be done. I dream of looking up into a bright, clear, sunny day. I dream of walking down a path that won't lead me astray. If I could fly right through the storms, through clouds that block my way, I think that I could feel the sun that warms up a cold day, and I could breathe some fresh air and realize that I am free, that I am free to learn, and I am free to grow with my wisdom. I have the power to know, I have the power to know. The power to know.
That was great. I like. Oh, you missed it. The clouds behind you. I don't know if you saw them. Watch the next service. Is very nice. I happen to know who took that picture. Well, good morning, everybody. All of you at home and those of you that are here. It's great to have you here. So last week I was having some soreness in my shoulder, and I was talking to my sister about it during the week, and she said, "Oh, Ronnie, you need to go to the store and buy this tart cherry juice in Publix." And she was telling me all where it is, and it immediately out of my mouth came, "That's not going to work for me." Now, as it was coming out of my mouth, I was laughing inside saying, that's not being stubborn at all, is it? So I went to the store and bought it, and I've been drinking it. I don't know how good it is, but I'll try it. You try anything when things get tough. So a day or two later, I was talking to my daughter in New York, and she was asking me how my back was, and she said, you ought to put BioFreeze on it. Well, I have BioFreeze. I'm a massage therapist. And I said, that won't work, Shelley. Again, out of my mouth, that won't work. So it's like, how stubborn can I be? So I did start using it, and it works quite well. And if you look, it says pain relieving gel. Shelley goes, Mom, it says pain relieving gel. Those two examples is what stubborn can look like. And the response that I had to both times was so automatic that it caught my attention and made me really look at it and just be willing to, because I was able to laugh at it. I mean, actually, as it was going on, I was laughing inside. It was a lot easier to just let it go. And it's like just the awareness of, yeah, I still do that sometimes. God knows why, but it brought me a new awareness of some of the things that I do that I was not aware of before. So So let's look at a definition of stubborn I got off of the internet. I don't know whether it was Webster or not, but it says, having or showing dogged determination not to change one's attitude or position on something, especially in spite of good arguments or reasons to do so, or a stubborn refusal to learn from experience. Now that's kind of the typical way that I've seen stubborn to mean that it's you're doing something and you're fighting against people no matter what they can show you, you're just not open to it, you're closed-minded. That kind of stubbornness can block our good, can actually, when you're focusing on just one outcome of a situation, you're not looking at anything else that might possibly work. So it can block your good. And stubbornness is usually a rejection of ideas that come our way, like I did. Nope, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Without even considering them. It kind of made me laugh. Oh, it did make me laugh. But being stubborn helps us stand our ground when everyone around us is telling us that we are wrong. But when used with discernment, stubbornness can be a strong leadership quality and a key determinant for success. Because stubborn people know what they do want and usually know what they don't want, they tend to be more decisive, which can come out as strength or perseverance or resilience, hanging in there, trying harder. So there are two sides to stubbornness. It just depends, like many things, on the way you mean it at the time. So let's look at the definition of loyal. Loyal, giving or showing firm and constant support or allegiance to a person or an institution, or being faithful to a private person to whom faithfulness is due. So while stubbornness is usually a firm no to an idea or a concept that is presented to us, loyalty or loyal is usually certainly a yes to principles and guidelines. So we want to be stubborn against the negativity that we don't want to continue in our life, but we also want to be loyal to spiritual principles that will open us up to many, many things. And if you look in Matthew 5:37, but let your words be yes, yes, and no, no. We've heard this so many times, and we've had lots of explanations, but saying no, no, no to negativity is similar to a denial that we at Unity are familiar with. We deny the power that it has over us. It's a way that we can stand firm and against the things that we don't want in our life. And when our minds begin to entertain thoughts of judgment or grievance or anger, it's time to be stubborn against that kind of thinking or that kind of behavior in our lives. Saying yes to our spiritual principles is similar to using affirmations. We want to direct our mind to the possibilities and the positive ways to express our loyalty to the spiritual principles in our lives of love, kindness, compassion, and forgiveness. So it kind of puts a little different spin on stubborn and loyal. So there are many laws of the universe. And when we don't follow those laws, when we don't obey the laws, we aren't punished because we disobeyed the laws, but we're usually punished, or we usually suffer consequences when we don't follow the laws. Like when I've talked about this before, if I stepped off this platform or I just took a step off the top of a ladder, I can pray all day long, God, don't let me fall, but I'm going to fall because it's the law of gravity. That's one of the laws of the universe. If we do not follow the laws on the highway for driving and we just go any which way that we want, we totally increase our chances of getting into an accident. It's a consequence. It's not like, oh, you're being punished. It's like there are consequences to not following the rules of the road, or what did I call them? The law of driving. I just kind of made that one up. Imagine that. So, and if we insist on eating foods that we know for a fact are not good for us, or other habits that we've been told over and over and over and that we've experienced that are not good for us, again, most of us have consequences at some point in our lives. Some people can skate by and we don't know why, but typically there are consequences, and it's not like we're being punished. It's just like we're not following the laws that are set out for us. And of course, with the eating and even the smoking and the drinking and whatnot, they're not direct lines to, well, if you do this, this is going to happen, or you do this. But there are consequences that seem to be proven. And, the other one is you reap what you sow. What we put out there, whether it's physically or emotionally, whatever we put out into the universe is going to come back to us. That's life. That's the way it is. It may not be immediate, and it may not be from the person or the thing that we did something to, but it will come back. That's just life. Now, Florence Scovel Shinn, I don't know whether you guys are aware of Florence Scovel Shinn. She's a Unity, well, she isn't actually a Unity minister, but she's written a number of books. Her most famous one is The Game of Life and How to Play It. But the book I was reading was called The Power of the Spoken Word. It says that we have a spiritual prototype of our body, a perfect idea in our superconscious or our spiritual mind of what this body is supposed to be. Most of us are far from that because we don't know what that prototype really looks like, or how to get there. We have stamped on our subconscious mind contrary pictures to health and well-being, of disease, of aging, of death. This stuff has been passed down in our families. Myrtle's family had TB, so she knew she was going to die of TB, and she almost did. A lot of us have heart disease in our family, or diabetes or whatnot, and we're sure we're going to get them. Now, I would hope that most of us here at Unity are at least beginning to pull away from that we don't have to get things, because that's the truth. But there's a lot of stuff that we have in our subconscious that we might not even be aware of, that can be blocking our good to coming from us. And that may be part of some of our stubbornness. When things like popped out of my mouth, you can look into that. There may be some things to ask for, get clearing of that. We may be very stubborn about some of the illnesses that we won't or will not get, and yet our stubborn mortal mind needs to be remodeled. And in Romans 12:2, Paul says, "Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind," which is Charles Fillmore's one of his favorite lines, because when we're challenged with a health issue, we want that health issue to be fixed. But what we have to do is pray for our mind that may be holding beliefs that we're not aware of to be corrected. And when the mind is corrected, the body will follow suit. So it's not quite as simple as, pray for just a healing, but what might that entail? So keep your mind filled with constructive, beautiful, joyous, health-producing thoughts as much as possible when you go through the day. And if you stop at any different time during the day and just kind of ask yourself, what am I thinking about? We might do some shifting, because in our society, typically, people that gather just love to complain about stuff. And so we're not thinking of the good things, the happy things, the beautiful things, the way that we want life to be, the harmony that we want in life. So instead of looking outside yourself for answers, this is where we turn inward to that Christ in you, the hope of glory, that presence. It's out on our steeple outside on either side. Other words from Charles Fillmore: Christ in you, Christ in me, our hope of glory. That's where we get our answers from. That's where we get the strength, the ability, the knowledge, the information to make changes in our lives. So in Psalm 37:5, the psalmist says, "Trust in me, commit your ways unto me." That's the Lord, of course. So how easy is it in trusting everything in our life to God? Most of us would say, no, I can't do that. I have to work. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do the other. But it does seem to be a little challenging for some of us, for most of us, to just trust into God. But what that means is to follow your intuition. Our intuition is a spiritual faculty that is above our intellect, that is stronger and more powerful and will give us more accurate information than our minds can. It's that still, small voice within. It's not loud, it's not booming, it doesn't say, hey, you're doing wrong. Typically, maybe somebody gets that once in a while, but it's a quiet voice. And if we're not willing to take the time to go within and listen quietly, we're going to miss all this information that we can have. And like I was saying, it's difficult for most of us, but especially someone that has always followed their reasoning mind, that has that's the way they tend to do all the time. HeartMath is a scientific group in Boulder Creek, California. They've been around a little more than 30 years, and they've done lots of research on the heart and the effects of emotions and lots of different things on our physical heart. And what they have done is they've done a lot of research on the power of the heart, which happens to be the organ that we typically say where we hear our intuition, that part of our body, the solar plexus, where our heart center is where we hear our here isn't the correct word, which where our intuition resides. So in HeartMath, with all of their research that they've done, they found that the heart has a brain, just like our mind has a brain. And this brain is 50 times more powerful electrically and 5,000 times more powerful magnetically than the brain in our head. So the information that we receive from our intuition or through our heart is that which draws us closer to spirit. We hear the information because we are tuned in to the spirit within us. That information is much more trustworthy than that which we can figure things out with our brain. Now, we all have the power of choice. We can follow, these are words of Myrtle Fillmore. We can follow the magic path of the intuition, or the long, hard road of experience. And we get to choose, and we do. And sometimes we pick one, and sometimes we pick the other. For whatever reason, until we figure more of it out, it takes us a while. But following your intuition affords you more ability to put to flight the negative thoughts in your mind. The ones that come in and take over, the ones that talk about all of the stuff that we've had passed down through generations. It wakes us up. For those who may not be used to listening to their intuition, you can start very benignly by asking, okay, if I'm supposed to be tuned into you, find me a parking place in the grocery store. And trust. And you'll find pretty quickly you might get these spots right up front. Or when you go to the line in the bank or parking lines in the grocery store. Start on things that seem to be pretty benign for you. You can come up with all kinds of things that wouldn't be a big deal if you didn't listen. But pay attention. I've had a number of times when I've gotten the intuition, not followed through with it, found out it was right. But what I've learned to do, instead of beating myself up for not listening and following through, I say, I could have listened to that intuition. It was right. So that reinforces us in saying, I will listen the next time. Sometimes it can get a little hairy because it may be counterproductive to what you've been doing all along. But our intuition is spot on, always. We are creatures of habit. We need to train the body persistently to do that which we wish. We can change our body. Some people may not want to do that because they don't want to put in the effort that it would take to make changes, because it will. And others may be convinced that their body won't change. And again, it comes back to the scripture, Matthew 8:13, let it be done to you according to your faith. There's no good or bad, right or wrong. We get to choose. Sometimes we can be successful in doing the things that we think are right, and sometimes we're not. There are consequences, and we don't always know why. So we just do the best we can. But if you want to make changes in your life, it's going to take effort. We cooperate with the universal laws by thinking habitually in terms of eternal life, perfect health, increasing our strength. We are renewed moment by moment. The more that we hold these ideas in our heart, the more they will be part of our lives, and it will be secondhand. After a while, it becomes so much easier because you're used to it. So what are you stubborn against in your life? Negativity, judgments, grievances, anger, those things that keep us in fear? Are there other things that you just don't want in your lives anymore? Be thinking about that so you can really make some choices. When we add discernment or wisdom, and you may have noticed as I'm talking about these things, they're bringing in some of the 12 powers that we talked about last year, strength and now wisdom again. When you bring in wisdom to our stubbornness, we actually become strong for something or loyal to that something. We take up the challenge and we look carefully at our lives, to do what we want, to bring into our lives that which we want. We are not victims of this world. We get to choose so much more than we think. Jesus told us when he was here, that which I do, you will be able to do too, and more. Most of us look around and say, we're not doing it, but we need to Jesus went off in the desert and spent so much quiet time with the Father, with the Spirit. I can't afford to spend 40 days in the desert. Don't even want to. But to spend more time every day, quiet time, listening time, that will increase your listening, that will increase your intuition. You will be following the guidance, the clarity that you want. You can dig out any negative patterns by the information that you get when you ask for clarity. Things that may have been passed down from generation that we may not even be aware of at all. When I was a kid, I was the middle child of 7 children, and at that time, children were seen and not heard. So, that was just, the way it was. Well, somewhere along the line, now, I figured out the way to, the way to keep my nose clean was to keep quiet. Now, I know that will surprise you, but it was true when I was a kid. I would be quiet and kind of stay out of trouble. But what I ended up feeling, and I didn't recognize this till I was an adult, and then I could handle it. I ended up thinking to myself that I must be stupid because my parents never asked my opinion, and if we tried to give it, it was like, psh, not really, psh, but we were shut down because 7 kids make a lot of noise and all. So somehow, and I got great grades in school, but it wasn't about that. I just felt like personally in making decisions, I felt I must be stupid. And when I was able to see this in an arena that was safe, that I could see, then I could start working on letting that go. And for the most part, it's not there. Every once in a while, it'll pop back up, and it's like, oh, there it is again. A little more work to do. So when we recognize that we have some things that we might need to let go of, that's a big step right there. Recognition is the big step to be able to do something about things that you want differently in your life. So here are some things to think about today or tomorrow, and decide if you want something different in your life. First of all, have you noticed or have others told you of an irritating or negative habit about yourself that you might want to change? Now, sometimes when other people tell you things, we discard them and say they're wrong. But if more than one person starts telling us something, we might want to look at it. So I suggest write that down so you can spend time praying about that. Second, are you willing to work on changing any of the things that you might write down? And if so, which ones? That's important. Third, then take these requests to prayer and ask for help in the renewing of your mind. This is where you take the things that we say, okay, this is an issue for me. I don't know what to do about it. I bring it here to you, God. Show me what to do. And we can get all of our talking out, but then we need to be quiet. We need to be quiet. We may get the answer right then. We may get it a little later, but we will get an answer if we're sincerely asking for help. The fourth thing is to commit to daily prayer time, which includes some silence with meditation. If all we do is talk, it's like, do you have any friends, or I don't know if you want to call them friends, people in your life that when they come over, all they do is talk. They transmit all the time, and they never ask how you are, they don't listen. That's how we are with God sometimes. I need this, I need that. Oh, okay, goodbye. That's not a relationship with God. So it's important to, in this space of the silence, even if it's hard to keep your mind quiet, it's not about that, but you're putting the effort in to to have some space of silence with God, that God communicates to you in the quiet, either with words or pictures or music. We've talked about this. You will get it in the way that you will understand. And you will get clarity, you can get guidance, everything that you need in this quiet time. And the last part is, for me, to make the decision to keep God first in your life. Seek ye first the kingdom of God first, and all else will be added to you. Figure out what that might mean to you. How do you put God first? That's up to each and every one of us, but some of these ideas could be helpful. But if our relationship with Spirit has to be ongoing. It's not just a Sunday morning or whenever you get to watch the live stream or Wednesday or it's a constant, what are the words I used? An ongoing awareness of God's constant presence in our life. Constantly, God is with us. We are never alone. And they're in the very fiber of our being, so much so that we forget that God is part of who we are, that we are part of who God is. So let's take a few moments now, and we will put into practice some of these things that I've talked about. So just take a nice deep breath where you are. And relax. Feel yourself sitting back in your chair. And notice the thoughts that are going through your head. Don't try to fight them. But as we're breathing, like Jesus did with the apostles in the boat when the storm flared up and they were afraid and woke Jesus and he calmed the storm, you now speak to your mind, peace. Peace, be still. And feel yourself relaxing even more. Your body responds to you. Your body will listen to you. Peace, peace, be still. And as you're in this place of peace, I want you to imagine that you are sitting or maybe standing in front of a beach here in Florida, but it's private. There's nobody here but you. And you're standing at the water's edge, and the sky is blue with the white puffy clouds. And you hear the birds in the sky, and you hear the waves crashing on the sand, rhythmically over and over and over. The temperature is perfect, warm but not too hot, with a little breeze, and we can feel the water running over our toes, our feet, and it feels lovely. But now, ask if there's something, or if something already popped up into your head that you know has been a habit that you're really ready to change. You may not know how, but you're ready. Just bring that up in your mind's eye and kind of put it into your own hands and throw it out into the water and see the waves come up and mix it in with all that water, splashing it on the ground, the wet sand, and then rolling back out again over and over. And that which you put into the water is gone. So now in this space of being quiet and still, ask, what do I do if that comes back up? How do I handle it? How do I know that it's gone? How do I change it? It's been such a habit. And as you get some answers here, it's time to just be willing, make the decision. I have decided I'm going to change this. And only with God's help will it be changed permanently. I am turning within to that space where God lives, the Christ in me, my hope of glory. And as the water keeps rushing over our toes and our feet, just imagine that your whole body is being washed. You don't have to get wet if you don't want to. But the cleansing of that water, imagine going over your head and down your body, purifying our thoughts, cleansing our hearts of things that we might have thought damaged it, not physically, but emotionally. Things that happened, let them go. They're gone. They're only there because you put them there. Let them go. Feel that water, imagine that water going all over your body and cleansing it. You feel so refreshed and purified. And that is the essence of who we are. We are made in the image and likeness of God. We are beautiful children, sons and daughters of God, at the core of our being. This outer personality and body has its flaws, but deep, deep within, this is who we are. And because of this truth, and because God lives within us, we can change those things with the power and the presence of God within us. We can be stubborn for what we want and loyal to what we want as well. And so with grateful, grateful hearts, we say, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Will the usher come forward now, please? Take our offering. And as you hear, gather your offering in your hands, and you at home, you know what to do. Pretty much after the service, you go to our unityorlando.org. There's a PayPal, there's credit cards. You can call the office and Linda can set up regular payments if you want. You could mail in a check. Just know we are so grateful for you at home, for you all that are here. We are so grateful for you keeping us alive, keeping us going, keeping us as strong as we are. So together, will you say with me the blessing that's on our screen together? Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Turn it back over to Brian. Thank you.
Thank you, Rev Ronnie. I remember those days when I was thinking about parking spaces being open and going right in. Now I just look for shade, you know. But a buddy of mine, he's a mentor of mine, David Roth, he's a songwriter and been making his living on writing songs. Had a trip from LA to back to Cape Cod where he lives. And he keeps himself open to things happening like that. And once you know, he met Smokey Robinson in the first class. He got put in there, and we were all like, that would happen to you, David. You know, he just keeps his mind open to things that are clear. So reminded me of this song, actually, All So Clear. Why can't we talk about it? Why do we care? There's something loved inside us, just to be clear. And when I dream about it, you're always there. Within my heart's desire, you're really here. I see you all so inside me, who sees through me. You are the grace inside me, feel glory be. And I don't even think about it, 'cause you're always there. You are my heart's desire, you're really here. I see you all so clear. Don't even think about it, you're always there. You are my heart's desire, and you're really here. I see you all so clear. And when I dream about it, you're always there. Within my heart's desire, you're really here. And I see you all so clear. You're really here. You're all so clear. You're really here. You're all so clear.
That was great. That was a perfect ending. Thank you. Perfect. He always does that. You know that. Okay. Well, next Sunday's Mother's Day. May. It's already here, and we're going fast, crazy. Be safe. Thanks for being here. Thank you for supporting us as well. For those of you who are here in church, we just started a new chaplain group, and if you would like prayer after service, it's now available. Will the chaplains that are here please stand up? Bob and Susan and myself. So if you would like prayer, ask one of us, and we'll be glad to pray with you. So thank you. Reverend Bob's talk next Sunday is called Heart Encounters. So of the third kind. No. Sorry, Bob. And Meyer Hall is open too as well. So after service, we can all enjoy some refreshments and some fellowship down in Meyer Hall. So let's all stand and we'll say the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, God, and have a great week. Okay.